Get to hear from the man who speaks for the NCAA, talking about Achimugu, who said it was a case of different things happening at the same place at different times. Why are they treating the matter differently? You get to know as well. And Peter Obi, presidential candidate of Labour Party in the last election in 2023, is telling us something of how we can end corruption in Nigeria. He's saying, contrary to what so many people believe in Nigeria, that corruption is so hard to eradicate and to fight, he says it's so easy to fight corruption. Only one thing will be done. What is that thing? You will hear on the show this evening. Plus, someone is saying that Chibike Rotimi Amechi, the one who is also looking forward to taking the ticket of the ADC to contest as president against Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. This man believes that Rotimi Amechi, even though he would prefer Rotimi Amechi over Tinubu because Tinubu has really messed up. That's what he said, that Tinubu has messed up the economy. But one thing he's saying, that Rotimi Amechi will never get the ticket to the ADC because Rotimi himself is a mess. Who is this man and why is he saying this? You hear of this evening on the show. Welcome to the show once again. My name is Pretty. You call me the finest. As always, let's begin with latest political happenings all around at this time. This is Politics of Melody 100.7 FM. Latest political happenings. Let's begin this way. All right, for latest happening, latest political developments in and around us at this time. Let's quickly tell you that latest happening right now is that Ibom Air passenger Comfort Manson has been released from Kirikiri Maximum Prison, where she's been held since Monday, as an Ikeja Magistrate Court sitting in Ogba just a while ago discharged and acquainted her. And that was one of the things that the Minister of Aerospace Development and Minister of Aviation, talking about Festus Keyamo, said this morning when he released that statement that they will make Ibom Air to drop charges so that the lady can be free. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? We are coming to that. That's just the latest story. Just have to quickly give you that. Let's go to more political happenings now all around Nigeria. Because this is pure politics now, if you don't believe it. And now for more political stories in Nigeria, let's tell you that PDP, People's Democratic Party, in a major political move in Gombe State, the chairman of Gombe local government area and state Argon chairman, Honorable Barrister Sani Ahmed Haruna, has welcomed large group of defectors from the PDP to the APC. The defectors are from the polling unit of former Gombe State Governor Dr. Ibrahim Hassan Dankwabo, and they were led by the senior special assistant on Gostec, DJ Meitaya, who presented them to the APC leadership during a reception ceremony. The movement continues, and the football season doesn't end in political matters in Nigeria. You know, there's a time that there's something in football we call windows. Yeah, the window doesn't close in Nigerian politics. They keep moving, they move and they move anytime they can just move, anytime they like. So the movement now is in Gombe State from the PDP to the APC. Away from that now, let's talk about INEC. And quickly, let me tell you that voter registration starts this weekend. So you need to get your hustle on. You need to be ready to get involved. This is not the time to sit on the fence, because the continuous voter registration starts in earnest this weekend. You start from your house first, from the office. You can just register online first. Then on the 25th, the registration will begin all across different zones, different local government areas that will be having the physical registration. So I'm telling you this one for you to prepare your mind, because you must be involved, especially as a youth. You must get involved this time. Don't let anybody deceive you. Get involved, get registered, so that you can be part of the entire system and the entire happenings politically in Nigeria. That's just by way of sensitizing you. Okay. The Imo State chapter the Imo State chapter of the PDP is in a serious mess now, as no fewer than 83 aggrieved members of the PDP in Imo State have sued the party's state chairman, Austin Nwachukwu, INEC, and other over the conduct of the state congress, which they allege was marred by exclusion and illegality. In a suit filed at the Federal High Court, Owerri, the aggrieved members are seeking to unseat Nwachukwu and set up other officials of the party. Led by Lambert Eze, the plaintiffs accuse the party of violating both the Electoral Act 2022 and its own constitution by allegedly excluding duly elected delegates from either North and South local government areas during the State Congress of August 31, 2024, that produced Nwachukwu and other state executive members, but the plaintiffs insisted it was unlawful, null and void. So that's what is happening in the PDP in Imo State. And Peter Obi has declared his support for the candidacy of Mrs. Justina Azuka, widow of late Honorable Justice Azuka, who was killed by kidnappers. Mrs. Azuka is contesting the Onitsha North constituency 1 seat in the Anambra State House of Assembly to complete the remaining 13 months of her late husband's tenure. A by-election to fill the position has been fixed for August 16, 2025. That is this weekend. You know, we also have our own coming up in Ibadan as well, in Oyo State. And Jagaban seat will be contested for. Still talking about the by-election that are coming up this weekend. 5 candidates contesting the forthcoming by-election in Ibadan North constituency have signed a peace accord. The peace accord was signed at the Oyo State headquarters of INEC this morning. The 5 candidates who signed the peace accord are Dexter Femi Akinalamu of the ADC, Adewale Hastrop Olatunji of the APC, Olabisi Olajumoke Odususi of the ABGA, Fola Sunday Oyekunle of the PDP, and Hamid Badmos of the Zenith Labour Party. The event was attended by leaders of the political parties, security chiefs, and other stakeholders. The by-election is billed to take place this Saturday, August 16, 2025. The election became necessary in order to fill the vacant position created as a result of the demise of the last occupant of the seat, Honorable Musliuddin Olaide Akinremi, aka Jagaban. May he so continue to rest in peace. Anyway, let's leave it there for now. Talking about political happenings in Nigeria at this time, as we get into the matter seriously right about now. All right, let's get straight into it. Just as I told you, you know, everything that has been within us in the last few days has been about the aviation industry and the wahala that has happened there. First, it was Kwam 1. And another one happened on Sunday, which everybody has now termed Kwam 2. Nigerians. Talking about the story concerning the lady, the passenger on board Ibom aircraft that left Uyo to Lagos, and getting there, trouble started. What was the trouble? The trouble was they asked her to switch off her phone in the plane. She decided not to switch it off. She gave them a whole lot of excuses. At the end of the day, she was forced to switch off the phone. But she had grudges in her mind. Apparently, you know, ladies, how they used to do their thing. One of the air hostesses as well had issues with her, so they both had grudges. So they waited until the plane got to Lagos. And you know what? Trouble started when they got to Lagos. And this lady went gaga. And everything went crazy. There was trouble everywhere. Trouble everywhere. At least you know the story now. But people have been asking the question, why is it that immediately this matter happened on Monday, this lady was arraigned? Yes, on Monday, the lady was arraigned immediately and she was sent to Kirikiri prison. She was remanded there. So people have been talking, asking questions. Why would they do that to the lady when we still had the case of Kwam 1 pending? They only said they suspended Kwam 1 for 6 months, although the man who speaks for NCAA has come out to debunk that they actually suspended Kwam 1 indefinitely. But even indefinitely or 6 months, all of that have been cancelled now, because with the release that came from the minister this morning, Kwam 1's suspension has just been taken to 1 month. It's just 1 month now, no more 6 months or indefinitely. So people have been asking questions. Why did they not prosecute Kwam 1 as well? Is it because he belongs to Baba's camp? Is it because he's a very big party of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Even before the minister came up this morning with the decision, the latest decision, people have been saying all of these, Kwam 1 is one of the untouchables. That's why nothing can happen to him, and that's why nothing happened to him. But the lady is actually touchable. That's why they could send her to Kirikiri prison. But according to Michael Achimugu, who speaks for the NCAA, he says it's actually a different case entirely. The case with Kwam 1 and the case with Comfort Hermanson are not the same at all. He tried to make a case for why the decision was taken the way the decision was taken. He explained this way. Take a listen to him.
Over something that, a simple compliance could have resolved aboard that aircraft. There is no comparisons here, not necessary, absolutely. It's not a case of oranges and oranges. In the Kwam 1 incident, the airline did not activate its right to take the passenger to court. So the CAA did what it's supposed to do by petitioning the relevant authorities to prosecute the passenger. In the Ibom Air incident, maybe because, their staff has been assaulted, the airline immediately activated its right to take up the matter, and then it went to court. So the CAA is not involved in the case of the Ibom Air passenger. Remember that in the Kwam 1 case, the CAA issued an advisory to AON, the operators, to ban the passenger. Meanwhile, I need to correct this impression. I keep saying 6 months. We did update that information and say that the ban on Kwam 1 was now indefinite. So the 6 months narrative no longer holds water. In this particular case, the airline operators, having seen some of the videos of the assault, made this decision by themselves. So the CAA is not involved in this. Basically, at the end of the day, in both cases, what the takeaway lessons from this is that, look, the system is being tested, and there's enough blame, to go around everybody, fan ABSEC, cabin crew, passengers. But, as with every issue, we must treat the root cause of issues. unruly behavior is not acceptable anywhere in the world, no matter the provocation. That's for starters. The regulations are not sentiment-based. Those rules are there for the safety of every passenger. Secondly, you must always obey cabin crew when you are aboard an airline. You don't make the rules for safety in aviation. So when you are asked to do a thing, in this particular case, other passengers on board that aircraft are said to have been the ones who seized this passenger's phone and turned it off. You know, when you are flying with other passengers, their safety and their concerns also matter. Your rights stop where theirs begin, right? There are passengers who, when the announcement has been made, turn off your phones. They feel very uncomfortable and unsafe to see the person next seat not turning off that phone. So the other passengers were made to feel very uncomfortable, and this entire situation was very avoidable, because when you turn off your phone, it's only for a few minutes. You can turn it back on mid-air. And so this was quite avoidable, but we'll see what the courts say about it.
Yeah, that was Michael Achimugu there, the man who speaks for the NCAA, talking about Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, the spokesman for the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Michael Achimugu there. Remember, I told you when I was starting that the matter has somehow been, let me say this, they started putting it to rest little by little now, because I told you what the minister said in the publication he issued this morning, that everything has now been, resolved. He pardoned the girl. The government has been able to pardon the girl. They pardoned Kwangwan as well. So that's why everything is changing now. But all of these reactions were just hours before this latest development happened. Another development is that Kwangwan is now to be an ambassador. This is one of the things that Nigerians are really reacting to now. That a man that actually was said to have flouted some laws is now to be an ambassador of proper security at the airport. Anyway, that's the story for another day anyway. But for now, they said one thing that is affecting Nigeria is our justice system. There's a law for the rich. There's another law for the for the poor. Different laws, different constitution for the affluent, and different ways interpreted for the poor people. And that is one of the reasons we are where we are today. I'm not the one saying it. Activist Aisha Yesufu is the one saying it. While reacting ahead of the latest development concerning Comfort Emansi when she was sent to Kirikiri prison, and of course they did not do much. Yes, let's put it that way. They did not do much to K1 the ultimate. So she felt as justice system generally, she was just using this matter to react generally to our justice system in Nigeria. When you see someone steal noodles and he goes to jail, while someone steals so much billions in Nigeria and is just there walking around with our billions and even using the money to oppress us in the city. So Aisha Yesufu is saying our justice system is sick, is faulty, and that is where we are today in this country. Now, unless we begin to work on our justice system, we'll continue to be making a mockery of ourselves, and we might not achieve much in this country, Nigeria.
Hello, everyone. Honestly, we cannot have a nation where we have two justice systems, and depending on your social standing in the society, that is what that will now determine the kind of justice system that is given to you, aligned to you, or whatever it is, and that is unacceptable. I'm talking about this whole issue that has happened, the airline Ibom Air issue that has happened with the passenger. First of all, I am not in support of whatever the assault, the charges against what they call it now, the passenger, the accusations against her, that she refused to put off her phone, that she went at the people and all of that. But in the same way, for me, is that justice must be justice, rule of law must be rule of law. And the reason why it's rule of law is that it applies to everybody, not that it applies to some people and it then does not apply to other people. For what she did, she assaulted, she did this. So why is it that she is being remanded to prison, and then King Wasiu Ayinde Marshal one was not remanded to prison? Adams Oshomole was not remanded in Kirikiri, was not sent to any prison, was not charged, was not charged to court. Comfort Emansi, that's the name of the lady, the passenger who assaulted airline officials on Ibom Air flight inbound Lagos from Uyo, has reportedly been charged to court. Tunde Moshood, the special advisor of media and communications to the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, said Emerson is remanded in Kirikiri Correctional Facility. If the charge for this is that someone should be remanded, then everybody who does it should be remanded. We cannot have a Comfort being remanded and then an Adam going scot-free, a Wasiu Ayinde going scot-free. We cannot have, Comfort Emerson being remanded, Adams Oshomole going scot-free, King Wasiu Ayinde Marshal one also going scot-free. There's no justice in all of that. Selective justice is injustice. You cannot continue to do this. There are so many things that were wrong with that whole situation. I get it. There are some people that can be so obnoxious when you're on the flight with them. God, I know the number of times that I have to say, I shall just keep quiet, I shall don't say anything, just leave these people, because they just keep telling people put off the phone, and the person will be arguing, will be saying no, will be saying whatever. Airline have a huge, in short, they can be very dictatorial. They have, when they decide on something, they decide on it. Whether you're right or not, they'll get security to just take you out. They have that power, to be able to do that. So there are also sometimes where you see airline people, they're very condescending, the way and manner in which they will talk to you, they will say this to you. Sometimes, there's something they call passive aggression. There's a way that you will talk to someone and you are actually you are not raising your voice, you are not doing anything, you are not saying, but they call it passive aggression. You get the person worked up, just the way you talk, look at the person and whatever. I'm not saying that's what happened in this. I'm just giving you the example. These things do happen. So whatever it is, like from what we're reading, where they're saying that, oh, this lady, they had told her to put off her phone, she refused to put off her phone. From the statement that has been put out by the airline, she refused to put off her phone to the extent that the passenger had to collect it from her, forcefully put it off and stuff like that. Let's even say, for me, that's for them to go and sort it out. The first thing that I expected the airline would have done is that before they land, because this thing had happened and they were ready, if they had not left, they would have just got her disembarked. Madam, come down, shikena. If your load, instead of going to have to go and check through the flight, they can set her load down, just the way they asked them to come down. King Wasiu Ayinde, from the reports that we have, actually poured whatever he had in his listing there, even was stopping an aircraft. You understand? He has not been remanded. He sent in an apology letter. After an apology letter, he was threatening the airline. Nothing has been done to him. Is it because he can get on the phone with an illegitimate president? Is that why he can be so arrogant? The Adams Oshomole, is it because he's in APC that he feels that he can do anything? Adams Oshomole also did his own. Literally, I think that was with Airpeace. And there was a fracas all over. There were some reports that he had attacked, or his people had attacked people there. And then what now happened? Nobody remanded him to call. The Ministry of Aviation was not working. Is it because Adams Oshomole is in the same party as they are? Or is it because King Wasiu Ayinde Marshal can have a phone call with a Tinubu? Is that so? Comfort now doesn't have somebody she will do phone call with. That's why they are remanding her. We can't have that. You can't be doing two different things. First of all, the airline needed to have said, before they got online, allow the security people, they just come in. Nobody is disembarking. She should have been the first person that was taken out of that plane. Not that after this disembarkation, people had come down. You are telling her that she will not come down. You are forcing the door. You are holding the door. Even that area, people are saying that woman that stood on the door, because literally you will meet someone that will get angry and will have power, will push you from that place you are holding like this, and you see yourself on the floor. Because at that time, she too, she's afraid for her life with this all issue of kidnapping. Does she know whether they want to kidnap her? She said that everybody came, that you watch everybody come, that she was alone. You kept her there. Of course, she has to. She can't get agitated. She can't get angry, and then all of that. And look at the way and manner in which they dragged her out. You were dragging her in that manner. If you need to restrain someone, they said there should be a training. They should. I always ask, even as security agents, do they train them on what to do? I've never heard a person say, put your hands down, let me see your hands. It's only your Igbo feel. Let me see your hands where I will see you or whatever. Nothing like that. Did they come with handcuffs? Did they try to restrain her, hold her, bring her out? No, you were dragging her as if you were dragging chicken, as if you were dragging, pot, all of them. And then someone from the back will pull her dress in such a way that it tears and it exposes her breast. What? And not only do you film that, you put that part. Part out. That is sexual harassment. I'm trying to think now whether you can even call it revenge porn, because it's not one that sent it to you, because that's you putting out somebody's nudity out there in the public. You literally, there was no need for that to have been in the public. You literally could have cut that out. You literally could have made a statement without that being there, but you needed to show that you have humiliated her and you dragged her out. And now this lady will forever live with the fact that her body parts that she had covered before she left the house and entered your plane, it's now all out on display on air for people to make all sorts of caricature with it and do all sorts of things with it. Do you even understand what then happens to her mental state? I'm not saying that what this lady has done, what's that her name, make it comfort Emerson, what she has done is right. Don't let her face the music of whatever it is. But there was a better way that Ibom Air could have handled that whole issue, not in the way that you humiliate. And I wonder why certain men who have privileges will do the same thing or even worse than her, but you didn't handle her. Why didn't they drag King Wasiu and then Marshal One out of the plane like that? Why didn't they bundle Adams Oshomole out of Senator Adams Oshomole on the floor and drag him on the floor like Jen? Why was it was only comfort that they felt comfortable in dragging her on the floor, not only dragging her but displaying her body all over the space?
Yeah, Aisha there talking, but one thing we will not, even though we want to we'll take all of the views, some of the views that she has talked about this evening. One of the things we will not agree with you is calling a president that has been sworn in an illegitimate president. We will not take that, okay? All right. It is a Melody 100.7 FM, still we're in the city of Ibadan. And it is a Politics on Melody with the finest. Now, a whole lot of issues coming out of these issues. Now, if this lady finally comes, because I've told you she's out of Kirikiri now, will she decide to sue? Because she's supposed to sue as well. Or would they say one of the things they agree is that, okay, you will not sue, but we also back out of suing you? Because ordinarily she's supposed to sue them for exposing her body like that to the internet. But that lady, just like Aisha said there, she's all over the internet. Everywhere, this lady, her oranges are selling all over the internet now. In fact, people have started using it as memes. They've created it as memes now. I mean, Nigerians can be very, very crazy. Less than 24 hours, they've created memes out of all of this situation. Comfort Emansin has become so popular now, but for the wrong reason. Will she decide to sue, or will she just allow sleeping dogs to lie? Only time will tell. Let's have a breather. When I return, I'll be taking you through how Peter Obi feels we can win the war against corruption in Nigeria. He says it's so simple. Very, very simple. Just one thing to do, and we will definitely tackle corruption. Is it that simple? Or is Peter Obi just talking as usual? We will look at that. And of course, a man is calling Rotimi Amechi names, saying Rotimi will not get the ticket of the ADC because the ticket belongs to someone else. But when he was summarizing everything, he said we would rather prefer an Amechi to be the president in 2027 than for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to continue. Who is this man? You get to hear all of these when we return. Qualities of Melody, 100.7 FM right here in the city of Ibadan. Give me little time, let me fight the fire. All of the fire of corruption. How can we fight it? All of the fire of tribulation, all of the fire of hunger in the land, all of the fire of starvation, all of the fire of misgovernance, all of the fire of Nigerians not enjoying their own country that has been so blessed. All of the fire. How? When can we fight this fire? And how can we fight this fire? Talking about the fire of corruption, how we can fight the fire of corruption? Mr. Peter Obi is giving us a hint, saying it's not hard. It's because we've not been doing things the right way. That is why it's like we do not know how to fight the fire of corruption. It's very, very simple. Just one thing to do. And what is that thing to do? It's simple. according to Mr. Peter Obi, presidential candidate in the last election of the Labour Party. Fighting corruption.
Because
how can we fight the corruption? And this is what he said.
Right.
Is
how?
If you are not stealing, your family is not stealing, those around you are not stealing, you reduce it by 60%.
But corruption always fights back.
No, you only fight back if you are involved.
Okay.
If you're not involved, there's no fighting back. I've held public life, and I know
elements who are benefiting from the breakdown in law. Because there are.
I've always said that you can fight corruption.
Right.
Is
how?
If you are not stealing, your family is not stealing, those around you are not stealing, you reduce it by 60%.
But corruption always fights back.
No, you only fight back if you are involved.
Okay.
If you're not involved, there's no fighting back. I've held public life, and I know that you can insist. And
Mr. Peter will be there. Corruption can never fight back if you insist. He said because we do not always take things seriously. That is why things are the way they are. We do not work the way we should work. You're stealing, you're asking the next person not to steal. Even if you're not stealing, your family members are stealing, then how can you fight such corruption? Then you can't fight corruption. The only way you can fight corruption is if you are not stealing, your family members are not stealing, everybody is respecting themselves. That's what Mr. Obi said. That is the way we can get rid of corruption in Nigeria. Is it that easy? It's a question for another day, begging for answer. Still talking about Mr. Peter Obi. Now, on the ADC coalition, right now the man's leg is like he's not stable. People are saying he can never get the ADC ticket. They can't give him. People are saying he should go back to the PDP. In fact, PDP, some members of the PDP are saying, let Peter Obi come back to the PDP because ADC will never give you ticket. Atiku is the one in charge. Now, the same PDP trying to lure him back have gone to meet President Jonathan, former president of the country, to come and take over as the man that will fly their ticket in 2027. And Labour Party is also factionalized. The Abure-led faction, which seems to be the more powerful faction of the Labour Party, doesn't want to see Peter Obi again, meaning Peter Obi might not be able to return to the Labour Party. And now he can't get the ticket of the ADC the way the calculations are going. And with the mathematics of Jonathan coming in again for the PDP, meaning Mr. Peter Obi is roving. He's roving, he's not stable, he doesn't even know where he belongs. That's what most political watchers are saying. But he's assuring us that you see the IADC, nothing spoiled, nothing mega. All the arrangement still intact.
Presentation in our assembly where nobody can leave his party after election. If you want to change party, do it during election. After election, you must stay there. If you forget, they replace the person.
Wow. Very correct.
So, which one am I going to contest in? As you know, because of the problem they have, some of us who are leaders in the opposition have a present adopted ADC. But I can tell you, before the election, more will join. Yes. More people will come together. Because the opposition needs to come together. Yeah. We are not coming together to wrestle power. If it is wrestle power, can't Peter be out of it? If we are not going to use that power to change the fortune of this country, please count me out of it. I'm not looking for political position. I'm not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I am desperate to see Nigeria change. I live in a changed place. And I tell people that. I lived in a place that work. I've been to schools. People have asked me questions. Peter, why did you go to all these schools? I went to them because I wanted to know where those people who went there have different brains. So as we advance now, we have adopted ADC for 2027 election. We are still battling to take over Labour because that's the right thing. There was nothing wrong. What was wrong in Labour is that we find out that people abandoned what we were trying to build into transaction. Yeah. It became a mess. So that was it. There's nothing wrong. That's the only thing that is wrong. We don't want to do transactional politics. I was offered a lot by this government. That could have been anything. But that's not what it is. So that's it. Somebody asked about being fair. My sister, I live in this country. This country must change.
Yes. Amen. Amen.
Yes. Amen.
Bad behavior, uncontrolled behavior, rascality.
Well, I just had to catch a bit of what happened there. It was a stakeholders meeting he had with some obedience movement in Lagos. I mean, I was invited there to see things for myself. You know, time to come, you definitely, when the whole thing hits up, even Peter will be on this program. I'm assuring you that. Okay? Live and direct. We're working on all of this. We're just getting started. So, we're just getting started. I've told you to get to a point that all of the gladiators are the people you'll be meeting live on the program. They're working towards that. We're just, we're still booting. So that was the question and answer segment when Peter will be met with some obedient movement in Lagos. So live and direct reporting there for you. Now, still talking about the ADC and the coalition. Some people are saying that even if Atiku decides not to run, he will use his money to support Amaechi. While others are saying, Amaechi, shuke. What can Amaechi do? Amaechi doesn't have the power to rescue anything when it comes to ADC ticket. But here is an activist, a lawyer, and a political watcher, and a public affairs analyst. His name is Maxwell Okpara. Maxwell Okpara believes in his widest dream, Amaechi can never become the candidate for the ADC because he doesn't have the wherewithal. He has not performed well in government since he's been in government for so many years. He's not performed well and he can't even get it because Atiku is the one that owns the tickets of the presidential platform in the ADC.
Well, when you are talking about political achievement of Amaechi, that's out of it. Anybody who is serious that comes out to face President Tinubu will defeat election. What do I say? Be that P2B, even Rufai, even Atiku, any of them can defeat Tinubu. Going by the economic challenges, the present condition of Nigeria, Nigerians are frustrated, and as a result of their frustration, they needed a change. They don't want to know who is coming. The only thing they don't want to see President Tinubu and APC. Going by his unpopular policies, going by the unnecessary spending and wastages, going by the way he's handling the case of BADEKALE, going by a lot of issues put together, Nigerians are tired of President Tinubu and his government. Now, on whether Rotimi Amaechi will win, he will first of all, before you go to heaven, you first of all die. He will first of all get the ticket of ADC. On whether he will get the ticket of ADC, I said no, he cannot. That ADC ticket is for Atiku Abubakar. They won't even give it to P2B. So if he's thinking about getting that ticket, he should just wake up from sleep. Now, Amechi had a very bad record when he was minister. Because when he was minister, if you watch, he was minister for transport for 8 years. No single railway in the whole of the South. South, and Southeast. Now, when he was the governor, he crippled down judiciary in Rivers State. He made sure that judicial arm of the government never worked, including the House of Assembly. So all those things, if you begin to check his antecedents politically, is nothing to write home about. But if you are bringing it with the present situation now, just like as I said, you had two evils to choose the lesser one. You will consider him, you will prefer him as against President Tinubu, based on what we are, which one are you even talking about in this present situation? So it's not as if that he's a good man. It's not as if that he has a good record. Amechi never have good record, even as a minister or as a governor. Likewise, Atiku and the Orifai and all of them. But going by what we are having now, everybody, if you ask average Nigerian on the street, not all those ones that are benefiting from them, they will tell you that we need a change. Let Tinubu go. That is the thing.
That is Maxwell Opara there, a public affairs analyst. Speaking right there, this is what he said concerning ADC ticket, Amechi, and his feeling about the governance and the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Anyway, whatever it is, the political waters are getting very, 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 very busy. And we'll keep you up to speed with all of the happenings. Keep you up to speed with all of the situation happening in the political space of Nigeria. Trust us, we're just getting started, as I've been telling you. So just keep it pumping, keep it moving, and keep watching. We're coming. Let me begin to wrap up. But before I begin to wrap up, Kwam One has somehow tendered an apology letter in form of a song, in Fuji music. His craft. That's what he does. He knows how to do. He's been able to release something as a form of apology to everyone who is angry with him, including the man in Aso Rock, his very good friend, President Bola Tinubu, that they should forgive him if whatever he has done has angered anyone. They should forgive him. He did it in Yoruba, so if you don't understand Yoruba, sorry, let's do it.
Ẹni àbáṣe kò foríjì wáyé ìwé oríjì mọ̀dá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ kékeré ìwé oríjì mọ̀dá ó ṣe láti dùn láwọn ní lọ ìwé oríjì mọ̀dá ayégún ìwé oríjì mọ̀dá ẹni àbáṣe kò foríjì wáyé ìwé oríjì mọ̀dá ẹni àbáṣe kò foríjì wáyé ìwé oríjì mọ̀dá. Ibikíbi ní Nàìjíríà. Ìwé orí ìdìbòdà. Ẹnikẹ́ni tọrọ ìgbà kan. Ìwé orí ìdìbòdà.
Yeah, you heard him there. Ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ kékeré, small matter. You guys blew it up. That's according to him. Oh my God. Okay. Let's begin to roll out this evening like this. Thank you for being part of Politics on Melody today. Next week, we're going to be bringing another beautiful thing as we get towards, in our history of election, we've never had election where about 2 years to the election, preparations are just like the election is next week. We've never had it. It is this 2027 election. Everyone is talking about 2027 as if there is no 2026. We still have a whole 12 months of 2026, but politicians in Nigeria, gladiators, are not talking about it. It's like after 2025, we are going to 2027. We'll jump 2026. God have mercy. We have enough time to talk about this and more in our subsequent program. Thank you to Daniel Adeyemi, Marcos Agbeniga, Oyewole Adetoro, because all of the guys making things happen here. Let me have a breather for 1 hour, and I'll be back with my crew for the cruise at 6 p.m. as we're looking through another disappointment that we had yesterday. Daniel said they were supposed to beat 7-0 the other time, and I was looking at him. I said, Shuke. Rather, we were the one that they beat us blue, black, red, and every other color you can think of. God have mercy. Those guys should just come home quickly. They should not even play the last game. And they should come home. We'll talk about that when we return on the cruise show in the next 1 hour or thereabout. Thank you so much. My name is Pretty Adego. You call me the finest. Follow us on all socials, Melody 107 FM on all socials. I'll see you in the next one. Keep your head up.